Peace, peace, peace. This is Imara Ifawuyi from Our Mother's Way channel. Blessed. I just wanted to greet everyone today. I just got off a live from my sis ES from Eat Love My Great channel. And she is coming from Ghana, West Africa, and was sharing all of her kind of triumphs over the last year of moving abroad and just getting out of America. And so I wanted to build a little bit about that. I am here on the island of St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, which is a beautiful island. Yes, it is an American territory, but it's still definitely got its Caribbean feel to it while we are on the U.S. system of governance, right? So, I just wanted to build a little bit today because here we are on an American island in the Caribbean during a lockdown with undetermined endpoint, and we really just don't know. We're in like such a kind of space of not knowing right now, and it's just a really deep thing because at the end of the day, who really even knows why we're on lockdown? I mean, if you add up everything in terms of this so-called illness and everything else, the measures that have been taken for me just aren't really adding up. So, it's just something to think about. This lockdown goes further than just American territories or just big cities in the world. I mean, it literally is spilling over to, small islands throughout the Caribbean, smaller towns and areas throughout different parts of the world. It's like a global thing. I'm talking about billions of people. And I really can't stand to even really talk about it that much because at the end of the day, the real lockdown is a mental lockdown. So a lot of us are dealing with media programming that's telling us that there's a boogeyman that we should be afraid of out there. And maybe there is something out there, but it is, the fear and the allowance of, all of these kind of government oversteps, all of these kind of deceitful practices of the government that's allowing us to accept this reality when really, if we're logical and thinking people, I think we would be questioning a lot more of what's going on. So yeah, today I just wanted to build a little bit about that because ever since this whole drama started, and I have tried to post videos and everything, I've definitely been censored around this issue. But everything, ever since this drama started, it was just like me trying to figure out what exactly was going on. Why does the whole world need to be quarantined based upon a certain number, a smaller number of people, very much smaller number of people that supposedly have a sickness? And then having to look at the media and trust that the things that the media are saying are actually truthful. Now, mind you, this is the same media that has lied about everything. 9/11, wars, different so-called enemies abroad, just so many things. I mean, this is like the U.S. media in particular is literally just a force for manipulation of the people. I mean, that's it. Hollywood, it's like it's just pure fuckery basically for the people. So, it's something to really consider. Like, what is our end point? Like, at what point are we going to say that it's okay to kind of open things back up and to be able to have, a flow of energy where we're, interacting with each other again, where we're, connecting with our loved ones, where we're still engaging in commerce in a healthy way, where small businesses can get back to thriving and living again after they've basically been broke down to their knees because of this situation. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and I just wonder, I'm like, at what point, like, what do the numbers need to look like? And then how can we trust where the numbers are at now? Those are the real questions. There's so many people here on YouTube that are screaming this, like, what is going on? How can we trust these figures? We know there's something going on in New York City. We know there's something going on in New Orleans, Detroit. But then how can we really even trust now that we know that certain doctors and medical professionals are blowing the whistle and coming out and saying, look, they've got us doing stuff like coding in this sickness as the cause of death for situations where it was not the cause of death. I mean, it's like so much deceitful stuff going on, duplicitous, ridiculous stuff going on around this whole thing. So it just makes you wonder, like, when is, what is it going to take? Are we going to have to just all out go off and say we're done with this? We don't know what it is that you're trying to protect us from or what's really going on, but we still have to be able to live like humans. It just makes me wonder. So on this video, I didn't even come up with a title because it didn't ask me one in the beginning. I hadn't really thought it out. But I think I just really wanted to build about, or just check in, really just check in with everyone about how they're doing under this lockdown of questionable reasoning. And you can answer down below, like, do you know anyone that has been, who has died from this illness? Did you have any question marks about what was going on with them? Was there any shadiness involved, or was it straightforward? Were they tested? I mean, these are the things that I would like to see a build on in different, different platforms. Like, what are people's personal experience with this? I personally don't know anyone that has had this so-called illness. I've heard about nobody connected to anybody I know. And I have a nice-sized family in the United States. Not really, my family's not really in the target areas outside of Detroit. I have a lot of family in Detroit. So, yeah, let me know down below. I wanted to do a live, but they won't let me on my phone yet. So let me know down below if you know anyone, if you have any personal experiences with anyone who's been sick with this, where your mind is at. Like, how are people really seeing this thing? Does it seem like it's excessive? Or does it seem like it's just a necessary evil right now for us to be on lockdown, with businesses collapsing, the entire economy collapsing, but yet they're so-called printing up all this money, which is really just a bunch of digital nonsense, and putting all this money into circulation to pay, so that people can get these stimulus checks and all these different things. Like, does any of this make any sense? And I think it's important that we really, really realize what we're dealing with. We're dealing with an entity, a media, a government that has never can we trace back in history actually had. I don't think we could ever really say that the government has had the best interests of the people in mind, because that's not the nature of the government. It's not what they're here for. And I think if we wake up and deal with the fact that this is the most, two-faced and fakest gaslighting government on the face of the earth, and they never have had good intentions for us. Now all of a sudden they want to save us. That's what this is all about. It's like, really start using your reasoning abilities and your critical thinking. Why now would they think? Why would it be about saving us now? Does that make sense? I don't know, Like, really and truly, it's really surprising to me. I walk around on my island and I see people that I would have thought would have been, conscious and aware and awake about this whole thing. And I see them with their mask on and all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, I mean, these masks are really an indication that you are silenced. You're being quiet, you're not speaking up, and you're fearful, and you're in compliance with whatever they decide to do. And that's whatever. I mean, it is literally, I am in compliance, whatever you say. If you tell me I need a shot, I'm going to get the shot. If you tell me my kids need shots, they going to get the shot. You know what I mean? It's like everything that we're doing right now is a ritual. So basically, and I'm not talking about people that wear masks. If they want to wear them, they want to get cute masks and wear them, that's fine. But there is a level of compliance that it indicates to me. And then they don't do things just based upon, what you see in the physical. Everything is a ritual for this particular, because we're dealing with a governance that goes way beyond physical. There is a spiritual force working through these entities, and it is not one that is aligned with us and wants good for for us people. you know, and it's not black and white. It's not a racial thing. I wish people would get out of that. I was on ES's channel today, and I love her. That's my sister. She's in Ghana. She's doing her thing. But one of the things I love that she always brings to the table, because she has such a successful platform, you know, and it speaks to so many people, is that, look, this is beyond race, okay? It's people suffering that look all kinds of ways on this planet, and that is silly. They use the race thing to try to dumb us down so that we could get focused on the wrong things and as a distraction. Okay, at the end of the day, it's devils that look all kinds of ways, you know, so, and believe me, I've seen some of the worst ones that's looking just like me. So, we really have to be serious and get out of all of that and realize that we're dealing with a force right now. And it's a force that, you know, wants to enslave us, basically, for our, whatever you want to call it, loosh, our energy, our life force. So, you know, what are we going to do? Are we just going to continue to allow and comply and wear masks and let them know that it's all good? You know, I live in a Caribbean island. People here, they're practical, they're intelligent. They wanted to fall in line with the orders and the different things, but they're also very human, much more so than you'll find in like a lot of your interactions in the States. You know, because they're sun people. They live in the tropics, and most of them are diehards that's been here their whole lives. They didn't run to America like some of them. So, you know, these Cruisians, and so folks here are like trying, but then at the same time, they're taking their liberties too. Because, I mean, who wants to be stuck up in their house out of the sun, not receiving vitamin D, you know, which is one of the biggest contributors to a healthy immune system. You know, you can't process and utilize vitamin D unless you're in the sun. This is why so many people are in places like up north in New York and, you know, going through so much suffrage and stuff like up there where it's so muted. The vitamin D just is not, you know, as easy to take into the body unless you're supplementing. And there's nothing like the sun. You can't supplement for the sun. So, you know, there's a lot of things to think about. So I'm just grateful to be here, but I've noticed that there are definitely a lot of people who are starting to take their liberties back and are living their lives. You know, they're not with this control mechanism that's been put in place so harshly for stuff that we're not even really clear about. You know, we're not even clear about it. And supposedly they talk about something called herd immunity. And that is a situation where, you know, to a degree it is a risk, because obviously there will be people who won't be able to maintain against certain sicknesses. So if this sickness is related, and I won't even call it viral, because a virus is not what they say it is. You know, y'all need to do deeper research on what a virus is. It doesn't lay on surfaces. You know what I mean? All of that is silly. They're taking advantage of the fact that people are gullible and don't research and don't have any scientific background. But if this is something related to some it could only be some bio warfare, something that they put into the environment. If that's the case, then, you know, then we really need to, I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, we really need to be considering, okay, obviously we're going to need to be boosting immunity, and then what about herd immunity? You know, is there a way that we could, you know, safely be exposed to this without having to be locked in our homes, and people just deal with what they got to deal with and heal themselves at home instead of running to the hospital, and we develop this natural immunity, just like when the flu comes. You know, some people run to get shots. A lot of us just tough it out. If we end up sick with something, we just deal with it, you know. But there's a lot of question marks around what these things really are, because they're not what they're calling them. So, and then you get into, you know, some of the conspiracies. Everybody likes to call them conspiracy theories about some of what's been happening in terms of the technologies that are being kind of amped up on the planet right now, and how that could be impacting the people's ability to kind of stay healthy and their immunity to fight off this heavy amount of radiation that's on the planet now. So there's so much going on. I don't act like I know the answers to any of it, because I don't. Even in my research and stuff, I don't feel like it's been in-depth enough for me to say this is what's happening, that's what's happening, because I don't like to speak surety like that, because I think that's ignorant unless you really, really put in that work. And even then still, there's so many layers of untruth and hidden things that's always acting all at once. especially in this particular society. So, it's hard to say what's what. But my suggestion, everybody just be cool. Let yourself be fear-free. Do not engage in the fear. The fear is the thing that's going to zap and mash up your immune system to the point where whatever it is that comes around, you won't have no resistance. Stay out of the fear energy. Don't let them control you with that. And I don't like this. I really like this channel is supposed to be about travel and holistic health, especially for women, things like that. But I have to say, our holistic health right now is very dependent on us staying out of fear, and then in keeping a balanced mind and a balanced lifestyle too. Getting lots of sun, eating lots of great foods, boosting. And, if fasting is part of your regimen, doing that. But really being all about that self-care. So, and staying out of fear. I think those are the principal points right now. We can throw around all these ideas about what's happening all day, but it keeps coming back down to the basics. Enjoy your friends and family, however y'all decide to do that. Take care of yourself, take care of your children. So I hope you got something out of that video. It's a beautiful day here. I think I'm about to take my little ones down to the water, to the beach, to the park down at the beach. We can't actually get in the water, but we can still enjoy the space a little bit. Sometimes they run us out of there. But, so yeah, guys, hit me up if you need anything. OurMothersWay.com is the website. Also, if you are looking for some travel inspiration and some travel consultations, I do the Global Nomad Relocation Consultation, and that's going to be below underneath in terms of where to go for that. That's on my Facebook page specifically for that business. It's called Global Nomad Living, okay, on Facebook. So you can go on there. That's where you would book the consultations. And blessed everyone.